A civil war is raging in Syria, and none of the two belligerent forces, the Assad regime and the rebel groups that are fighting against the Assad regime, is able of defeating the other party. And the numbers of innocent civilians that are hurt is growing and growing.
Do you believe there was indeed a chemical weapon attack?
It seems that there were several cases of the use of chemical weapons. The most recent one is the most horrendous one. The reports are about more than 1,000 casualties. However, what is not clear is what kind of chemical weapon was used, and what is the rationale for the usage of this kind of weapons by the regime, because much of it doesn't really make sense.
And what would be the repercussions for Israel should the U.S. intervene?
I think that most probably there will not be any important repercussions to Israel of this. Because it's true that the Syrian regime will have a motivation to try to hurt U.S. interest, and Israel is considered to be a U.S. interest. The problem is that Israel is the kind of U.S. interest that strikes back, and I don't think that this time the regime is interested in adding Israel to the list of his active enemies that will attack him and try to destroy its control of Syria.
What is the best case scenario for Israel where Syria is concerned?
Almost all the scenarios are bad, because the only good scenario, namely a scenario in which the Assad regime is toppled and it is replaced by a secular, liberal, democratic regime, is a highly improbable scenario. So the scenarios range between victory for the Assad regime, which is a bad scenario for Israel, because mostly because of its implication on the regional balance of forces between those that side with Iran and those that are against Iran. It can be a never-ending civil war, which will actually create a chaotic situation in the Syrian side, which is bad for Israel. And it can be a situation in which the regime falls down and it is replaced by extreme Islamist regime, which is also a bad scenario.